What's good, y'all? It's Drew here, back with the collab. So today, we actually have someone that, a collab we've had in the works for a while, but why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up, my heavy weather? Glad to be here to talk about the mommy herself, Big Yuki. Let's go.
Today, we're just talking about who can beat Yuki. That's basically what we're going through. So, we're going to tackle, we're going to probably go from strongest to weakest. So, we're going to pretty much stop at around, the Culling Game's top tier people. That's where we're kind of going to stop. So, we're not going to see Nanami or Todo. None of them weak ass niggas, basically. But,
no Nanami, guys.
No Nanami,
No
man.
Nanami.
Someone's got to make a video on why Nanami's just so disappointing, honestly. But we'll talk
The
about
biggest
it.
fraud, after Yuta, it's got to be Nanami.
I don't know, but after you just top tier. But I see what you're saying. You might be worse than Todo, but we'll get on him later. We can start off pretty much with the top of the list, which is Gojo and Sukuna. We don't really need to waste much time. They kind of just solo Yuki really easily.
Yeah, maybe you think she drops a fucking black hole. I guess she would kill them, but it's that's not really a win, right? That just
they're both gonna die. I mean, Gojo and Sukuna's base attacks, their basic punches should one shot her easily. That's we don't even no more time spent on it. And then we're gonna cover Kenjaku as well because we basically already got that fight, and we saw she had the help of Chozo and Tengen. They helped basically. She has prep time because Chozo basically fought Kenjaku first, and we kind of saw it basically helped her know what his domain and abilities were. So, and all that stuff, and she still lost. So, yeah, Kenjaku's another thing that's put in the third.
The only thing you could say is I guess Kenjaku did say that it would have been more interesting if she used her domain, but it's all he means by that is that she wouldn't have just gotten cooked, right? In a few seconds. There might have been a little tug of war, but she is not Vinny Kenjaku. There's a reason they opted for the plan of Tengen destroying Kenjaku's domain, right?
Yeah, so it's easy money. But with that in mind, we can actually get to the good people. So we'll start with Kashimo, which Kashimo is also another person that I think kind of destroys her. I think it'll be more interesting to do base Kashimo. I think that's a better because
We'll do both.
Yeah, we'll do both. Okay, so we'll start with base Kashimo. So base Kashimo, and when we say base Kashimo, for those who don't know, it's without CT, obviously, curse technique. Base Kashimo was basically destroying base Hakari, but he was keeping up with Jackpot Hakari, and honestly could have won that fight. Yeah, how do you think the fight would go, in terms of just in general?
Yeah, he showed some relativity to Jackpot Hakari. Obviously, Jackpot Hakari was overall stronger, right? He was whenever he wanted to, he could pick up the pace and just beat up Kashimo. It's why Kashimo's strategy it started off as I'm gonna kill him while he's immortal. And then by the end of it, he was trying to kill him in between the fucking rounds. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, base Kashimo, he is pretty strong, and he is contending with those special grade guys. So Hakari, Yuta, and Yuki, but he's not exactly on that level, right? Or at least on the level of Hakari.
I feel Kashimo has more has better durability than her. If we're gonna just looking at it.
She is pretty durable, but she has to she needs time to do it, right? She has to add the master herself. So we saw with Kenjaku where she wasn't able to do it fast enough. Her durability isn't anything too impressive. And the thing about Kashimo is that it's if he hits her with he's probably gonna hit her with a lightning bolt, right? This is the thing. It's very interesting because they both have the capabilities of one-shotting each other, right?
Yeah.
If he lands if Kashimo lands a lethal strike with his lightning, she is pretty cooked. But if Yuki lands a nice punch, Kashimo is pretty cooked.
Yeah, it is.
But the thing is, Yuki can just do it, right? She doesn't have to because Kashimo needs to put his charges. He needs to touch you to actually use his lightning. Yuki, her basic punches are gonna be amped. So she would, I think personally, she would probably get the win. She'd probably tag him first. She also has domain, obviously. She has RCT, a pretty high level of it. She has some of the main. So I do want to give it to Yuki.
But we obviously know curse technique, Kashimo solos. It's not it's a one shot.
That should not be curse.
Base Kashimo was around the injured Sukuna that just fought Gojo because he was able to kind of be with him. That would be around Yuta, Hakari kind of level and stuff. So with the boost with the CT.
Yeah, so Kashimo in base, he should be somewhat near the level of Yuta and Hakari, and Yuki by extension, right? And we saw him keeping up with Jackpot Hakari. Again, Jackpot Hakari was faster, but he was able to keep up, right? And then when Kashimo pulls up to Sukuna in base, he's Sukuna can casually just tank it. Even though Sukuna is damaged, Sukuna is at the very least relative to those guys in speed and he just because he blocks Kashime's like pretty easily. So that Sukuna is already as fast as like Yuki at the very least, right? And then when Kashimo turns on his cut technique, he's just like blitzing the shit out of him, right? He's like damaging him, all that stuff. Yeah, and then as for durability, like as CA said, we know Gojo and Sukuna's punches should be able to like one-shot these special grade level characters. And then like we saw it like the latest chapter, what happens, right? Like where Sukuna just like tore his hands through Choso. And this Sukuna is holding back. Like we know the current Sukuna is holding back. The one against Kashimo wasn't holding back. And yeah, Kashimo just ate his punches. Like he grabbed his arms and he started like spamming punches on Kashimo's stomach, and bro just ate that shit. Obviously it hurt him, but he's still like, he didn't get one shot, right? So his durability, his speed, his like AP should be way above Yuki. And in character, we know Kashimo just like rushes you, right? We saw with Sukuna, he pulls up to him, he punches him, starts spamming shit like he was about to throw lightning. So like he might just fucking like blitz Yuki to the point where she can't even open the domain.
Barrage her, he's not really giving. He doesn't really give you time.
He just barrages her. Yeah, kind of like Yuki was into Kenjaku. Remember when she was like fucked up? Like CT, Kashimo, and Bai just do that. But then yeah, even if she pops her domain, he has the Holy Wicker Basket, which wouldn't like completely negate the domain, but it should buy him enough time to just like blitz her. And yeah, he should be able to just, he might just one-shot her, unironically.
Yeah, he probably.
he is insane. He's insane. Yeah, he's the strongest in his era. He's like a Gojo Sukuna type character. Yeah, he's cracked.
Weaker than them, obviously, but yeah, he's probably easily the third strongest in the verse. But we talk about Kashimo. So now we can get on a character I think is pretty hard to power skill. I think Heavy agrees with this, which is Yorozu. It's hard to kind of power skill her because she fought Sukuna, but Sukuna was only trying to use 10 shadows. Not only was he only trying to use 10 shadows, he wanted to use 10 shadows to kind of push Megumi in the darkness more and stuff like that. But because of that, you can kind of imply that he was getting hit with those attacks on purpose to adapt and things like that. Her attacks were able to injure that Sukuna. I feel like it might kind of depend on how the fight goes. What you think?
Yeah, like in terms of feats, it's kind of complicated because again, Sukuna was obviously holding back, right? He wasn't even using this mantle and cleave. But it's like, okay, we could say that Sukuna was holding back in terms of like he was getting hit on purpose, but he wasn't like lowering his durability, right? Like he wouldn't like, there's no he'd do that. So every time he gets hit, he was still taking the damage, and we see Yorozu damaging him, right? There's like Gege kind of writes it as if he draws it as if like Sukuna is actually taking damage. It's not just him getting hit. So even if you do think Sukuna is getting hit on purpose, he is still taking damage, which is like super impressive, right? We're talking about 50 million Sukuna. Exactly, yeah. And like in terms of statements, she has that like that insane statement of like she fought the 5 generals who are like relative to Uro, which is like a pretty crazy statement. She was stated to already be like a top tier in the Heian era in base. So it was stated that like her output in base already rivaled like the top tiers in the Heian era. So with her bug armor, she just goes like even more cracked. She also has like an insane domain, right? Like her domain is insane. And I mean, I'm not gonna like go headcanon mode and say it's better than Yuki's. But let's be real, it probably is. Yeah. It probably is better than Yuki's. Like it has one of the most insane short hits we've seen, like on the level of like Infinite Void, Unlimited Void, and like Mahito's one, the self-embodiment of perfection. Like the perfect sphere is insane, right? Yeah. So if I had to like say which domain is better, I do think Yorozu's one is better.
No, that makes sense. I think overall, yeah, because even like when Yuta had the 3-way deadlock fight with Uro and Ryu, we're talking about, we don't really know, like you were saying, we don't really know Yorozu fought 5 of them at once, or like 5 like a gauntlet style, or just 5 in general. But either way, it's still kind of like Yuta is someone relative to her and Ryu, like they're in the same ballpark. So if we're talking about like she's fighting someone 5 times as strong, it's gonna get very nasty for her. But next up, we got Yuta, and this is the Yuta from the time skip. So we haven't really seen everything he can do just yet, but even just scaling it off of the other people, the other characters we've seen in the 2-month time skip, like we saw Hakari before. We saw base Hakari was just getting, I'm not gonna use the word you used in the off screen, obviously, but just getting destroyed basically by Kashimo. Like Kashimo was just murking that nigga. But now he was able to keep up in Urami's domain for like the entire Kashimo battle, which we know he couldn't use his jackpot during that time. So that's just base Hakari. Or we could even talk about Higuruma, who he basically just learned. One, he saw like the domain amplification from Sukuna. He basically could do that now. Sukuna's like, yo, you're powerful as hell. Like you're strong. Like you guys have gotten way powerful in these 2 months. Like Sukuna's just been basically applauding everyone. We saw Yuji was hitting was throwing attacks at Sukuna that Sukuna had like he couldn't, you know what I'm saying, he had to like dodge or block. So it's the scale in which everyone's gotten stronger is just insane. Or even you can even look at
Yuta himself. He was like, shit, like put me in, coach.
Yeah,
let me fight Mahito and fucking not Mahito. Let me fight Mahoraga and Agito. Like,
yeah, he's just like that's not your body kind of thing. But he can do that. I don't know. He can just do that now. So Yuta's just way stronger. And just especially because considering like Yuta and Yuki pre-time skip were pretty much relative. I think the special grades, it doesn't really matter where you rank them at this point right now. But like that Hakari, Yuta, Yuki, that you can even throw Kashimo like that scaling, they were kind of all relative. And it's been 2 months. So our girl Yuki's been dead for 2 months. So I can't lie.
It's kind of rough because like Yuki, you could make an argument that she's stronger than Yuta, but that's pre-time skip, right? And she's kind of like she hasn't had any chance to grow. I do think pre-time skip Yuki was stronger than him. Like we have these statements from Kenjaku where he's basically like cooking Yuta. He's saying, "Oh, I don't know what everyone sees in him." And then when he sees Yuki, he's like, "Can I even beat her?" Like he's questioning if he can even fucking win, which is insane.
That is funny.
And then even Maki herself, she talks about how Yuta and Yuki are on the same level, right? She deduces that the only way to beat Kenjaku is through unconventional means, just because Yuki lost. So she's like in a pretty high pedestal, right? Like she was a special grade even before Geto and all these guys in Gojo.
Yeah.
So I do think pre-time skip, they're at the very least relative, right? But post-time skip, yeah, like Yuta, the way he did Kenjaku was crazy. I don't think he blitzed him. He caught him off guard, but even then, like that's still a crazy feat in base as well. So even narratively as well, he's like, you know, second to Gojo thing, all that stuff. I do think right now he should be above Yuki.
Yeah, there would be no way that that's not the case. That's crazy.
It's like she's not a threat, right? Like if she kaidos him like clean with a technique, like if she like fucking punches him like through the head, he might be pretty cooked.
Yeah, like, I just don't think she gets him off guard though, especially with what we saw. We were kind of debating this a little bit off stream, but Kenjaku saw Yuta and he was like, "Oh shit, he's here!" And he tried to do an attack, and Yuta still like his attack was way faster. You know what I'm saying? So like that kind of stuff, he might just like outspeed Yuki at this point in time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean Yuki does have some pretty impressive feats. Like half dead Yuki after getting hit by Kenny's domain, she was like pressing Kenjaku. Yeah. So like Kenjaku isn't known to be, you know, the best like, close range hand-to-hand fire, right? True, yeah. He's not really, he's not too quick. Like if half dead Yuki was like putting it on him, then I do think like a full HP Yuki would like cook him pretty bad close range, which we saw with Yuta, right? Probably has a better domain as well. Like I know we haven't seen it, but just narratively, like it's the way it's implied.
Next up, part of the special grade, like almost like a trio here, we got Hakari. So we have like base Hakari and then like jackpot Hakari. So I mean, base Hakari now, honestly, like we were kind of saying, bro is able to at least keep up with the special grade ramen. Like she was trying to put the nigga in the dirt and she couldn't do it. She wasn't really hurt. Like it seemed, we didn't really get to see the whole fight, but it doesn't seem like he's able to hurt her. But the fact he can survive, like he's able to survive against a special grade, like I don't know, until he needs to hit his jack. Like, he's not fodder outside of using his jackpot. So I don't know. Once that jackpot gets hit, I feel like she's a blunt though, because I don't think she can put him down.
It's this is probably like the closest one yet, right, with Hakari, because in base, because right now Hakari, dude, it's like Gege is trying to tell us, like him and Yuta are so relative. Like we had so many statements, right? Yeah. Like even Gojo himself was like they're equal. Yeah. Like if only come in if I get as weak as you two, right? In base, as CA said, he was able to hold his own against Urume. And it's like he didn't lose any limbs or anything because like we saw like his clothes were like fine. Yeah. so it's like, he said his clothes. He was probably getting cooked. I'm not gonna lie. He was holding his own to the point where he wasn't getting like completely cooked, right? So it's like if he fights Yuki in base, she might cook him. I'm not gonna lie. Because she is definitely the special grade who has like the most lethal attacks, right? She has the most lethal attacks. So if she like punches his arm and he loses his arm, he just loses. It's like straight up. Because he can't cast the domain anymore, right? If like, so we saw what happened with Kenny where he tried blocking the punch and then he just like went through his fucking arm. If that happens to the Hakari, he just loses the fight. Yeah. So it is a very close fight. If Hakari hits jackpot, I personally do think it's like a 50-50 fight. If he hits jackpot early enough, I do think he wins. Like he just kind of hard counters Yuki. Yeah. Because the whole thing is she like lands like lethal hits. Yeah, and he just like healed through that shit.
I think it's even said. I think it was Ramen who said it, like Hakari in jackpot has the best RCT in the verse. It seems like, because I feel like Gojo and Sukuna have like the best everything in the verse, but They literally say like it's even. Well, I think they say it's even greater than Gojo's. Not necessarily Sukuna's, but yeah.
No, yeah. It's better than Gojo and Sukuna's.
Yeah, okay. Like
they say just straight up. Yeah, because Hakari's shit is like it's just auto.
It's like it's auto. It's
always running, and it's just like.
I
always at max output. It doesn't slow down.
Yeah, it's nasty work. He's just the go for that. But I will say, kind of similar to touch on the past point. I feel like at base, either Yuki wins or nothing happens, because I don't think Hakari can do any damage to Yuki that's permanent, because her RCT is also kind of insane.
Yeah, dude, he'd be on his, bro. He'd just be running away.
Yeah, he'd just be surviving
to get damage, to get distance.
Yeah,
exactly. And if she punches his arm, he's fucking finished. But the thing is, it's like, do you think Hakari could live long enough to the jackpot? I personally think it's 50-50. And if he hits it again, he's kind of similar to Yuta, where like by now he should like have better stats than her. At least me personally, and he does kind of counter her because, you know, jackpot. Because he gets the jackpots like really fucking fast. Like people act like it takes time. No, dude, he gets it like super fast, and his base is strong enough so he can hold his own. So it is really like a 50-50.
But so for the sake of the video, we'll give it to Hakari, because I feel like, especially if like Gege was right, or just in general, it just seems like, I mean, he's never had a fight where he hasn't hit a jackpot yet, too. You know what I'm saying? The last character in the video that we're gonna touch upon for Yuki is Maki / Toji. I feel like it's pretty clear scaling that Maki is below the Hakari Yuta kind of like scale. But I think it is interesting because, for instance, domain expansion is really, it doesn't do anything to her, right? So she's not, I say both of them, Toji and Maki, like they're unaffected by, they could choose to be in the domain expansion, and even if they're in the domain expansion, it can't hit them. Like it just treats them like regular things. So the domain expansion is just out the window.
Okay, so while Maki isn't like, I do agree with you that she's like portrayed like below Yuta and Hakari. Yeah. She's still on that level, right?
Yeah.
Out of the three, she's on the bottom, and like her whole thing is her physical stats, right?
Yeah.
She was able to keep up with like a nerf 15 finger Sukuna, so yeah, she is pretty speedy. Same with Toji, like that's their whole thing, right? Like they're just like really fast, like they're hard to sense. So in terms of like raw speed, I would probably edge it towards Maki and Toji, like slightly. Like Yuki doesn't have that many like speed feats.
Yeah, that's true.
Her best speed feat is keeping up with fighting Kenjaku, and Kenjaku just got fucking done dirty. So it's like fuck.
Yeah, you know he's not really. If the only thing is, if you can get a hit on them, I feel like
I was about to say, of everyone we were talking about, Maki and Toji, like they don't have RCT, right? So if she hits them, like
it's over.
So fucked.
It's actually so fucking
over. Yeah, exactly. Like, but I think the same thing for them. Like, if they catch her lacking with a sword katana, like she is also like kind of finished.
And we know with Toji,
and it's like
when that nigga gets one hit, he gets like he's gonna like really get his kill in for sure.
Same with Yuki, to be honest. Like she was like pressing Kenjaku. If she kicks Garuda or like Toji or Maki and that shit lands, like, that is pretty rough. Like that is a very like long day for them. The same thing with them, right? If they get tagged, but same thing for Yuki. If she gets tagged, yeah, she's gonna have a rough time. So I feel this one could go either way. I want to edge it. Since she's dead, she's not gonna get any more feats. But Maki is probably gonna get some insane feats. I mean, let's be for real. And she's gonna upscale Toji.
Especially will this upscale Toji because it has been a time skip. Like this is like, I think this is the time that Maki surpasses Toji.
To be, yeah, maybe.
So like,
even if we use like pre-time skip feats.
Yeah, we're probably.
It's still pretty. I think speed wise, I would give it to the heavy restriction duo. But in terms of AP, Yuki's obviously way above, and she has RCT. So I think it could go either way.
Yeah, it's all similar to the Hakari thing, where it's like, okay, well, if they can hit her with the soul splitting katana, it's GG. So they all pretty much beat Yuki. Well, with like the last three being Maki, Toji, and Hakari. I think those three are people that you could swing it either way.
You could swing either way for Yuta and Yorozu though.
Oh yeah, that's true. But that's the video. Let us know who you think Yuki can beat among these characters and things like that. Me and Heavy are going to be linking up on a video similar to this, basically about can they beat Yuta. So besides that video, do you have any like other videos you want to bring up or anything you want to shout out?
I'll probably have Gojo versus Sukuna out by then. Hey and Era Sukuna versus Satoru Gojo.
Oh,
who would win?
Okay. But you know what I'm saying? It's nice catching y'all, you know what I'm saying? More videos on the way. And
glad to be here. It's fun.
So this, school's out and everything, so expect way more content from me. But yeah, catch y'all. So peace.